YouTube. Monday morning, 3:30 or so in the morning, running off about 5 hours sleep. Another week, eh? Bricks for today, simple. Work, move. I got to walk in later, but I'll be moving throughout the day. In and out the van 100 something times, so movement box will be ticked. Content, let's get this up and yeah, refine the message. So I feel like it's going to be a busy week, so we'll have you guys along for the journey, eh? Just getting home from work, and all morning I've been thinking about drift. And the truth is, this is something I struggle with forever, but most people think that if they can't continue optimally, then continuing at all is actually pointless. And that all or nothing mentality, that all or nothing cycle is actually what keeps people stuck. I know it's kept me stuck for a long time because, you know, as an example, in the gym, I used to train 5-6 days a week, and whenever I couldn't do that, I figured, what's the point in training 2 or 3? But those lower moments, continuing when it's hard, continuing when you can't hit optimal, actually maximizes the opportunity of ensuring that optimal gives you maximum returns on that time period, on the execution there. Because without continuity, you effectively have to restart from zero. So that all or nothing actual cycle or thought process is actually what keeps people stuck and ultimately disappearing, having to return and restart from zero. So just to piggyback on what I was saying earlier about continuation, my current season is very limited. So I've got 2 jobs, probably working about 60 hours a week, up at 3 a.m. most days. 3 kids, obviously. My wife's got shift work, so her shifts are unpredictable. At times can throw me out of my schedule or routine. Training 3 times a week instead of 6. You know, obviously I'd like to be training probably 4 or 5. I've got a shoulder injury, so I need to adapt, but also time. I mean, I can spend more time in the gym, but then that takes away from me building Calloused, the philosophy, the business in itself, you know, and offer a customer journey, a path for someone to go through. So this isn't an optimal season for me, and understanding my capacity and actually consciously making the decision to lower the output without lowering the standard is what helps me stay in the game. If I can train 3 times a week as a minimum, I control my calories for the most part, but I'm more worried about protein, so that I'm continuing to either build muscle or maintain muscle, regardless of where the calories are exactly at. I know roughly where I'm at each day, but it's not perfectly dialed in. And again, that's a conscious decision, because to me, the difference between drift and continuation, it's like 2 sides of the same coin. And the difference is consciousness. If you're making the decision to lower the output without lowering the standard, then you can continue down that path. But if you're phoning it in, you know, saying to yourself, fuck it, today's too hard, I'll just start again tomorrow, that's not making a conscious decision to actually stay in the game. You're effectively putting yourself in a position where if you continue with that trend, you will drift. And drifting leads to disappearance. Disappearance leads to restarting. The job is, once you start, to never have to restart again. Always return. Return as quick as you can. So ROG today, another green day. Lots of movement with work. Calories were good, dialed in. Protein was definitely hit. So hit all my markers. This video exists. So as I say, all those things, those key metrics for this season for me were ticked, and that's ultimately a green day. That's continuation, you know, in real life. The biggest thing that has changed my life, right, and this is what I'm building Calloused around, is if I can stay longer, and when I do end up falling off, return faster. It just means I've got more time in the game, more opportunity for reps, and as a byproduct of that, I move to the person I want to become quicker. All right, that wraps up Monday for us. As I say, a Calloused person, it's not about perfection. It's about catching yourself in drift, drawing a line, protecting the floor, and staying in the game. If you do that long enough, then you become Calloused. Be good.